Alright, looks like we're live. Good stuff. And just getting back to tactics after an intermission. Here it seems like if I can excuse me, substantially slow down these queenside pawns, maybe I can win with the G pawn. Idea might be G6, bishop takes, knight takes, A4, and then see what they can do. Seems possible. I don't see a way to control the promotion square fast enough, though. Oh, maybe I do. So it might be like this. We come back. Throw this check. Let's suppose they go here, so there's no more check. Then I go here and here, and that's a blockade. So I should be able to win with the G pawn unopposed. So I think that's right. Let's just go for it. Interesting decision. So maybe something like this. I think their idea is to go here. Or maybe I throw this check first. Control that spot. They will probably go back. And go here. It'd be nice if I could block this diagonal successfully. This diagonal. So one way I could do that is maybe bring my king here and play knight f7. Because I'm not sure how effective it really is to control just this one square when they have bishop c2 and bishop to e8 as ways to get in touch with the pawn. All they really need to do is get in touch with the square, and they're doing pretty well. And they can do that by going, like, for example, bishop c2. This is the only move that makes sense to me. And bishop h7, controlling that square. So if they can get there, they're fine. And they can also do it through e8, so I'm kind of looking for other ideas here. I think that king g5 doesn't really work, though, because they can play king takes g3. And if I played like king f6 or whatever, they always have bishop c2, g7, and bishop h7. And as long as they can desperado the bishop for that pawn, they should win on the queen side. I find it very unlikely that I can actually stop them from desperadoing. There are just so many places where they can control g8. So looking for other ideas here. A sample variation might be like king g5, bishop c2, just threatening to take this pawn fresh out of the gate. G7, this move to prevent the promotion. And if I play a move like g3 to stop the threat of king takes g3, I mean g4 to stop king takes g3, then they can play a4. And if I try to stop a3 with a move like knight c4, then they have b5. And this doesn't look like a recipe for success. Like, the bishop can support the pawns from far away. There's two of them. Like, it just doesn't seem like it's really working out. Don't have a winning plan. So, what else do we have here? The most direct move is just g7. So they go here. And I was looking at these checks. And there's really no way that I can control all of these squares to get the bishop off of that, so I'm not sure what I would do, honestly. Maybe I should just go win the queenside pawns, actually. Like, maybe I could go here, take advantage of this moment to go snap off the a pawn. That actually seems very, very logical. Maybe that would play bishop c2. g7. Bishop h7. They also have bishop e8 as a possible pathway. And then I can play knight takes a5. And with the extra pawn, my winning chances are much better than before. And the knight is in the right area to deal with this pawn. So I think this is my answer. Okay, so they're hitting the knight. I'm taking the pawn. Now I can take this pawn, or I can play g7, or I can play g4. I have a lot of options here, so which one? Apparently there's only one best move here. So I'm wondering if allowing them to play b5 is drawn. Thank you, Shai, for the compliment on the thumbnail. You've done that yourself. Always nice to use the AI-generated thumbnail. I hope to do more of that in the future, but you know, I think I would need to put in an application for that, for access, and that might take a while. We can talk about that later if you want, actually. Now I think of it. 1 second, guys. Okay. So we're on probably the last move of this puzzle. I'm contemplating if taking this wins the game. They would have to take it, I think. Otherwise, this is a clear advantage. I push this, they come back, and I probably can't win easily, but possible. So I'm thinking g4, because I'll need at least one more pawn to win this. They'll probably play king g2 to try to bring it around. King g5. My idea is to bring the king to f8. King f3, preventing king f6, because if I play king f6, they play king g4, and they will eventually sacrifice the bishop for the other pawn. So king f5 looks good. Idea is to play g5 next to secure that pawn. And they actually don't really have a great move, because the king on f5 is building a barrier against the king on f3. And if they play a waiting move, I'm playing I'm playing g5, which improves the position. Alright, maybe they do have a useful waiting move. Maybe they have king g3, g5, king h4. And now I play king f6, I think, maybe? Or maybe Maybe king g6. Yeah, maybe knight takes b7 wins, but I'm not that confident in my long calculation. There might be something there at the end where they can play a move besides king h4. That's what's got me wondering. So the other thing is, if I just play a move like g4, what happens? Maybe I have other moves possible too. I don't see anything wrong with trying to improve my position or allowing them to play b5, b4, b3, and then sacking the knight for the pawn. So conceptually, I'd rather not take this pawn if I can afford not to. But they are also threatening b6, I just realized this. So probably I have to take it now. And if I don't take it now, I'm probably losing. Yeah, I think I have to take it now, whatever the outcome is. There's another move here. Okay, so I do this. Oh, the idea was if they played b6, I could play like knight c6. So maybe I'll do that now. Alright, that was silly. I kind of spooked there, thinking that my knight is trapped. Okay, and this is winning. Excuse me. Alright, so I just want to check one thing. I was thinking about this, and this is apparently a draw. Thinking king g5 originally, but without loss of generality, could play g5. Let's say they go here. Yeah, this is a draw. That makes sense. Alright. Alright, so the way that this is not a draw... Let me see. So let's say they go here. Apparently these are all still only moves. Kind of a puzzle in itself, really. Alright, so knight c6 is the only move. King g2 wasn't forced. It was a convenient thing there. So let's say I play this normal looking move. Alright, that drops a pawn, so maybe here. Actually, I kind of like this one. Let's see. Just trying to understand why this is not also a draw. Alright, let's say... Yeah, let's say I pass. I'm actually not even sure king f5 makes sense because I think I have to go back. So maybe this is still the main line. Maybe this. Okay, so there's probably a big takeaway here. So first of all, excuse me, I shouldn't play pieces pawns against pieces if I can help it, because the drawing chances really go up a lot. The other takeaway here is that there's something intrinsic about this position that is favorable for white, aside from being a pawn up. So the king is slightly better placed. The second G pawn is not that great, but you know, it exists. That's nice. That's where all the winning chances come from, just not losing that G3 pawn. And if we need to keep this G3 pawn, we actually can't move the king. We need the knight. So that's what's important about this. That if we want to promote, we need the knight's support. The king has to guard the G-pawn. So if we sack the knight, it's going to become a draw at that point. And the other important detail is that if the knight is on G8, like let's go through this fantasy variation that I put together here. Where is it? I think it's this one. Right, so this is our fantasy position. The thing to see here is that after they play b4, we can play 1, 2, 3 moves, and they are playing their third move would be to promote, and we would take. So even if the knight is on G8 against this b pawn, it's able to come back, and it doesn't depend on any checks on their king or anything. Okay, so this was a nice example. I might just save this for later. Let me post this in my Discord real quick. Okay, then we move on. So we've got just legal moves here. I think allowing them to take my queen with check would be stupid, so we don't do that. I think allowing them to take the queen generally is stupid, so we have to take in one of these two ways. If we take with the queen, they take on e1. Then we lose the queen anyway, so I think we have to take with the king. Now if I play king f1, then they have rook f3, but then we can take their queen. So that's actually fine so far. They have queen h1, but then we have queen g1. But then they have rook f3. Looks dangerous. But after king e2, it doesn't look so bad. Okay, so still no problem with king f1. I guess they have queen takes h3, queen g2, rook f3, king g1, rook g3. Okay, that is actually bad. So these are the only options right now. And king f1 appears to be out. It seems common sense to just not let them take. I'm sorry, not allow them to give this check. So maybe king h2. So they might play queen e5 check. We can play king to g1. Seems a little problematic. Just double checking king f1. My problem is this check. Queen g1 is the only move. They have queen takes h3 check. And I have to play queen g2. They have rook f3 check. I have king g1 and then rook g3. Is that so bad? I think so. Alright, so king f1's definitely out. So it's only these two. It seems unintuitive to allow rook g3 with tempo. But there might be some advantage to it. So let's just calculate king g1, rook g3, king f1, or king h2 actually. That doesn't look so bad. I don't really see what they're gonna do next that's so dangerous. Because the rook is covering all of these, so there's no queen e5. The queen's covering all of these, so there's no queen f4. The queen's under attack. Actually, the queen's under attack. So if I play king g1, rook g3, I could play queen takes g3. And if they throw a check, I'll just block with the queen again. So it doesn't matter that the queen is hanging. Meanwhile, if I go here, it would appear that queen e5 check is useful. Because if I play king h1, then there's rook takes h3, and if I play king g1, then there's rook g3, and those are both maybe useful. Actually, I just keep forgetting that the queen is hanging. So if I go like here, sorry, if I go here, check, here, and rook g3, I can just take it. And if they play queen c5, I play queen e3. So what's actually good for black after king g1? Maybe queen g6. Maybe if they can just take this pawn, they're happy. I don't know. It's sort of hard to figure that out. It's definitely an option that they have that they don't have after king h2. Alright, I think king g1 leaves them with fewer reasonable options. So let's say I play king g1, queen g6, king f1, rook h3. There should be some kind of winning attack. It just makes sense for that to be the case. Because we have queen f8, king b7, queen e7, king a6, and at the very least there's queen e2 with the initiative. Seems pretty normal. Could force trade queens, for example, after king b7 and queen e7 check because the rook is guarding. I think it's this one. Alright, that didn't work out. So it has to be that one. So let's see what's the problem with this. Queen d6 check is apparently a draw. I saw this. Oh, I did not notice queen d3 check. Whoops. It's not good because that's something you should see all the time, right? It's a check. So this is a perpetual. Dang it, that's no good. I really thought. Okay, what is this move? I thought it was this one. It can't be that one because they have rookie 1. There's a double attack here. Okay, so what's wrong with this? I thought they would go here and then this works. Oh, they have queenie 1. Alright, that's lame. Not good. Hello, Anand, welcome. Yeah, I'm not doing so great today, but that's okay. It's my first stream after like 2 weeks or something. I've just been all over the place. Hubble truffle. Yeah, sometimes you do just have a bad day. That's true. I keep forgetting that I'm super sleep deprived too. I drove from New Jersey to Louisiana in like 22 hours straight. And no, I just drove for like an entire day. And I keep forgetting that that just happened. Alright, so this is my first thing that I see. I think they have to do this. Throw this check, they go here. Actually, I think it's not smart to do this check. So I go here, they go here, I do this. I think they have to go here. Okay, well there's definitely something going on here. I think they have to go here. I don't see any other logical move. Maybe I just protect the rook with the idea of checking them, or maybe go over here. Do they have a useful move? Excuse me. Yeah, it was possibly dangerous, but I'm good at it. Looks like Anand's saying a lot of queen g6. Sorry, I totally missed your message when I was looking at that last one. But yeah, also PhD work. There's like a lot going on right now. I want to keep streaming though. Just keep playing chess. Okay, so let's say I go here. They do this. And I don't know. They have multiple ways to avoid mate. Ideally, I would improve this rook somehow. I like how the pawns are like an obstacle course for the rooks. It's kind of study-like, although it's not very beautiful. Rook h2 does look good. I'm not sure. You know, I go rook h2, And the thing is that king f1 stops rook g1. I guess I could add rook g2, but then there's rook f3, and that's kind of obnoxious. Maybe I can answer rook f3 with rook c2. No, that doesn't make sense. Then they have rook c3. So, sorry. Here. And here. They play rook f3. We could go to d2. If they play king e1, then the rook on h2 goes to e2. And then that wins. Actually, it doesn't win. I keep forgetting that this pawn is gone. So it's still not clear to me. I think if I play rook g2 and rook f3, it's a problem. Excuse me. Well, at any rate, maybe I could play the first move, because I'm not sure any other move makes sense. Like, I haven't spotted something else that works besides rook g6. Excuse me. I'm looking for another move. I think pushing this f pawn at some point might become important. Maybe like, or maybe I go here, and then, you know, somewhere around here I'm going to push this f pawn. I don't know. I think this is the only move. All right, now this is the real situation. I have like rook h2, I have this rook to g2, I have rook c... Actually, I don't have rook c2 because of rook c3. I guess I could do that to provoke rook c3 and then play rook takes b2. Maybe that's not so bad. But anyway, there's also rook c4, which might be a problem. Well, actually, they want to keep an eye on this pawn. Anyway, I think these are my main options. Rook h2, king f1. I still haven't seen the light at the end of the tunnel with this one. For example, rook g2, rook takes f3, rook h1, king takes g2. It's just not happening. There could be this. Oh, also they have rook takes f3 directly, and if I play rook g1, then there's rook f1. So that's even more evidence to the contrary. So it's probably rook g2. At any rate, it's definitely not this. It could be this, but it doesn't seem totally right. Oh, I see now. Actually, I do see. It's rook c2. Because if they play rook c3, I can play rook g1. If they play rook f3, I play rook g1, rook f1, and then rook c1. If they play rook c4, then I have f2, king f1, and rook g1. That wins the game. Okay, now the only thing is, what if they play this? Okay, actually, I still have to answer both king moves, king d1 and king f1. So let's say king d1. Then I come all the way over for rook h2. Because now there's no rook f3 because of rook g1. So after rook h2, they don't have any response. We have to lure them to d1 first. Now what if we go here and they go here? Yeah, rook c2, king d1, f2. I think that the problem with rook c2, king d1, f2 is that they can play king takes c2, and the rook is still guarding the promotion square. But anyway, we already found a win in that spot, so that's okay. Rook c2, king f1, and I'm thinking rook g2. But then they have rook takes f3. Maybe rook e2 check, king g1, Yeah, I'm just not sure about king f1 here. Still looking. On the hunt, as it were. Maybe it's rook g3. Just keep this good position together. That's not so convincing though. I'm suggesting rook h2, king f1, f2. I don't see why that's good. I think they can just play rook takes f2. Because you don't even have a reasonable check at that point. It could just be rook g2 here, because rook g2 has the threat of, for example, rook c2. But then I don't know if the move order really matters. Alright, so let's say it's rook c2, king f1, because I think that still is like analyzing rook g2. How about... Now I was thinking rook c1, king f2, rook g2, king f3, but that's not doing really anything. Okay, maybe again I could narrow it down. Rook c2 so far is the most promising move that I've looked at. I don't think rook h2 works because of king f1. Well, I have the same problem, king f1, with both rook c2 and rook h2. So that doesn't actually mean I can narrow it down. Yeah, I want to play rook g2 from g6, for sure. That's kind of the idea so far. I just need to get both rooks in the game. But I also need it to come with a threat. So let's try to rule out rook h2. King f1 was my problem. No, actually, with rook h2, the problem is rook takes f3. Because I cannot even play rook g1. So rook h2 is out for that reason. Rook c2 is my main alternative, and so far my only problem is king f1. Rook e2 I ruled out because I think after king f1 I don't have a reasonable way of improving the position. Like, I can't even threaten mate in one, and my pawn is falling. So I think it's not rook e2. The other moves are stupid, so this is the other move that makes sense. It's either this or rook c2. So if I put this rook on g2, again, I'm not really threatening anything, but it also defies white to do something useful. Let's say they, I don't know, just check, sorry, and take this. This keeps things more or less similar to how they were before. So it might be a good way to think about what happens if we play rook g2. We could go here, threatening mate. I don't think white can survive, actually. So the threat of rook c2 is pretty serious. So let's say that we don't do this checking sequence. So rook g2 with the idea of rook c2. Also, my idea with rook c2 was to lure the king over there, so I could also look for a problem with this, because if this doesn't make sense, then actually rook g2 is just a better version of the same. So if we go here, Alright, so let's say we do this. Rook c2, king d1, rook h2. And they play like, I don't know, rook e4. Then I don't think I have anything better than this check. They have to play rook e1. And then we play f2, which wins the game. So I still think rook c2 makes a lot of sense. Doubling rooks is definitely usually winning. But like one of these is definitely not right. Otherwise this wouldn't be a move that they're asking me for. So I need to see the difference between them. I still don't see the difference between rook c2 and rook g2 so much. If anything, rook c2 looks more forcing to me right now, because it means they have to play king f1, because king d1 doesn't work, and it's threatening mate. So let's say they go here, still looking for a win, firm win. Maybe forcing them to f1 is not good, because they could get in this corner and defend their king somehow. So in that case, let's say rook g2. Can we find a good move for white? Rook f8 doesn't seem really useful. Maybe they will make a prophylactic move, rook e4. Well, this doesn't keep an eye on this pawn, so maybe they will try like d4. With the idea of playing rook e3. So let's just pretend, right? Now if I play rook c2, they can play a move like rook d3. Or they can play king d1. So let's say they play king d1, just to keep them flexible. Then we have rook d2, king e1, f2, king f1, rook c1, king g2, and rook g1. That should win. So far, rook g2 looks pretty encouraging. I'm going to play it. Yay, it wins. Woohoo. Yes, that's definitely a win for generalizations in chess. Like doubling on the 7th rank is almost always winning. I think the problem was, like, I just had a hard time convincing myself that there's nothing here after king f1. because even this position looks pretty winning. I think the fact is it's complicated because they have a defense involving king g1. For example, let's say they just do this sort of obvious sequence here. This position's winning for black because of rook h3, and they don't have king g1 in this case because of rook g2. So all this shows is that white can't do something ridiculous like rook f8. What they could probably do is play d4. I had the idea to play rook e3 and rook e1 as a defense. So now if I play rook h3 threatening mate, then there's one of these rooks takes on f3. I'm not sure which one I want. Maybe this one. Sorry, that leads to mate in 1. So actually, hold on. So what is the problem with rook g3? This doesn't seem to work because if king g1, then there's still that. Yeah, why doesn't this work? Maybe I just got lucky. Well, not lucky. I calculated a win. But so the idea is rook h3. Maybe. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to go back, does it? Because there's rook g1 mate. I kind of wanted to do something like this, but that doesn't seem to work. What's the best move here? It says a6 only move. Okay, and then rook c4. Why can't we just play rook c4? This is crazy, actually. It's maybe not surprising that I couldn't find a refutation for this. I don't know if I want to downvote this puzzle. I think there is a real difference here. Like, I was able to spot the win in a different way, so even though I can't find white's defense in this one, I don't know, maybe you're right. Like, this is pretty hard. Hold on, what was I looking at again? I was looking at rook g3. Yeah. Apparently rook g2 is also a draw, but anyway, this is probably the most interesting because a6 is an only move. It's still very difficult to figure out like what is going on. Rook c3 and rook c4 are both fine. So let's say we choose this one. And they play, I don't know, this normal move. There's a lot of counterplay going on here. Suddenly it's like they're checkmating first. Okay. Alright, so justifying a6 is easy once you've seen it, but like what's wrong with this? Or maybe even this. Let's say they go here. And I want to play like, I don't know, maybe d6. Somehow in this line, it's not possible to stop rook h3. But in this line, it is because of this check. Like if I go here, there's mate on the back rank, so I have to go here. This is the only move. Notably, I can't play king e6. What is this? This is insane. It says next to play here. So that they promote with check. Okay, so I keep running. This really is a study-like position. This is really interesting. I'm gonna share this in my server. A6 equals report for engine assistance. I mean, possibly. I think if I was desperate, I'd probably throw either d6 or a6. Like 50-50 shot of playing something reasonable. But I would have no idea why I'm playing it. I would just like keep looking for opportunities. Yeah, this is insane. I'm just gonna leave this one behind and keep going. I got got the L. I mean the W. I mean they feel the same. I got something right there, even though I didn't see everything. Lucky, lucky. I was just like, king f1 is hard. I'm gonna play rook g2 because rook g2 looked easier, but I didn't even see a6, d6 counterplay. Okay, so what do we have here? Perhaps another mind-boggling puzzle. I'm getting all the easy stuff wrong and the hard stuff right today. Okay. Still just trying to get my bearings with this situation. Not even sure what's important. Yeah, bishop d6, of course. Rook takes d6. Like, I keep looking at bishop d6. Like, definitely I'm drawn to it, but like the bishop is hanging. I'm only looking at it because the king is there on h2. I'm not sure what would even win if I could play bishop d6 safely. Like, they also have e5 blocking. They also could just move. Like maybe king g1 or something. Mainly something. Queen h4 is definitely interesting. Like any kind of move that looks at the king right now I feel is very reasonable. Specializing in one move blunders on. Yeah, I mean, I feel that. I miss a lot of stuff right now in chess. I think it just comes from like doing other things more regularly. But I hope to change that. Yeah, so let's say I played queen h4, just because I really don't see that much else to consider aside from, like, I don't know, improving the bishop. If I'm thinking, or maybe knight f4, if I'm thinking along these kinds of like positional lines, maybe it's just time to calculate something. So let's say I play queen h4. Idea is rook takes h3 and queen takes f2. So they could defend that with like rook e2 or rook d2, or, well, rook d2 they cannot because there's bishop d6 at that point. No, they could probably still get away with it. Queen h4, they could also play like rook f1. Rook f1 seems the most reasonable, so let's just pretend they play rook f1. Now I can't get away with rook takes h3 because the queen's guarded. They'll just play g takes h3, and I think that's it. That's the whole story. Meanwhile, rook queen takes f7 is on the horizon. So I don't think it's queen h4. I think they have too many responses. So maybe it's knight f4. You know, let's just pretend, you know, we're playing knight f4. Maybe bishop c1 is what they'll do. Rook takes g2, and if they play queen takes g2, then we win. So that's good. They would probably play king h1. And if rook takes f2, then bishop takes g5, and we win a piece. So maybe bishop c1 is just bad. So knight f4, and they'll do something about it. Rook g1. Let's say. Oh yeah, there's also the obvious queen takes g3. Yeah, good point. They could just take the rook. Yeah, it's pretty obvious. So that's no good. What if I just play rook takes g2? You know, queen takes g2, queen f4. They can't block. They have to play either king g1 or king h1. If they play king h1, then I can play knight g3. And then they have to choose either king g1 or king h2, and probably king g1. That doesn't look so useful either. I'm not really sure what the targets are here, aside from the queen and the king. There's not a lot to go on. This is probably an attack on the king, because the knight on a4 is kind of not helpful. But our bishop on e7 is not doing so great either. Yeah, it seems like white should get checkmated, I have to agree. But how? Like, I'm even considering moves like queen g6 now to play bishop h4. But since queen g6 is not in itself useful, like let's say they just play rook to d2, let's just pretend. Bishop h4 now. Queen e2 maybe. I don't see myself like winning on the spot from this. Actually, queen f5 is probably more active. You could win like a pawn. And we're down a pawn. So maybe there's something else to do where we can get bishop h4 with tempo. Something besides queen g6. Queen d6 doesn't look bad. It might be. Like, it's the only way to get bishop h4 in. So that if bishop h4 is really good, then this is probably the answer. Queen g6 runs into bishop e5 though. I think actually bishop e5, I could play bishop h4, I think, because after bishop takes g3, there's bishop takes g3, it's a double attack, and if they play bishop takes c7, then there's rook takes h3, winning the queen. But it's giving a lot of pieces for the queen. Oh, it looks like Anand just spotted that when he tries to play g5, then bishop e5 comes as well. So I think it doesn't fail to bishop e5 as much as it fails to queen f7. But yeah, like there's problems there. Bishop e5 is a funny move. It's like white to play kind of puzzle, but it's our move, so we need to avoid that kind of stuff. Yeah, that bishop on b2 does some real work without doing much. What if it's something just like my rook is a bad piece, I'm playing rook c6, trying to play rook g6? That to me seems even more plausible than like queen g6 attempting bishop h4. Just put pressure on g2 until it pops. You know, I can play rook c6, they do something. I play rook g6, they defend g2, I play knight f4. That seems pretty good, actually. So let's say rook c6. What could they do that makes any sense? This is my idea. Chessable's hitting me up on my phone. I'm texted back. New phone, who dis? I don't see much else going on. Alright, so it's rook d5. Now I can make firm decisions about what I want to play, because that is pretty committal. Now this actually threatens rook h3. So if I play queen h4, they have to play rook f1 or rook e2, I think. Playing rook d2 after all that seems pretty silly. So let's say they play rook f1. Best by test. I don't know, that's counterplay. So a little systematic here. This looks pretty convincing. Rook g2. Rook g2, queen g2, queen f4. They have to choose one of these. And no matter what they choose, I think rook g6 is nice. If they play king g1, then rook g6 wins the queen. But it's not that simple. Because they have rook h5, maybe. Gotta think about this a little more. I'm thinking about this move. Think about this, thinking about that. I've got a lot of options here, so I'm going to focus on this one. And I'm not sure what your rook f6 variation is. I think if you play, first of all, I think rook f6, let's say it's rook takes g5. I think that's what you meant. After rook takes f2, rook takes g3, rook takes g2, they can just take it. I don't think it's working. I think they can just take everything in your variation. Yeah, the rook's hanging. Okay, so let's see about this. Excuse me. King g1 is actually kind of my main move right now, because I was thinking if they play king h1, I could always play knight g3 check, and that's probably helpful. But even then, not sure. So you know, I think rook g2 is probably not the main thing. What else makes sense here? All right, I'm gonna just refute it real quick because I told myself I'd focus on this. So I do this. They go here. Nothing else makes sense to me. Check. They cannot block, so they have to go to one of these places. Let's pretend it's king g1 because that seems like it should be the easiest one to figure out. Rook g6. Now they can't play queen g6 because after pawn g6 I guard this knight, and I think they need to keep an eye on that knight to have a real chance in this game. So they'll probably play rook h5. Rook g2, king g2. Now, is there a double attack here somewhere? Probably. I think queen d2 attacks everything. This bishop, which is guarded, this rook, the king. So they probably will play a move like king to f1 after queen d2. I don't know, they really do have a lot of pieces in this position for a queen. The problem is that they're getting a lot of pieces for the queen after rook g6, so I'm still not sold on it. You know, we got other options here. Maybe we could take and then play this. If they take it, then we play queen f4. And then we can take the rook. And probably retain the attack. But it's still like an exchange sack. Oh, actually they have e5. I keep forgetting about e5. So queen f4 is probably still the most interesting. You know, after rook g6, rook takes h5, we don't have to take the queen, but I'm also not confident that there's a better way. I don't believe in it so much. So what else could we do? Could just play this. Would they just sack the rook? Two can play this game. We can play this. That should win. Okay, so if we play queen h4, they at least can't play rook h5. So rook f1 is still the move that I was thinking about. It's hard to really pull the trigger on like rook g6 with queen f7 on the block, so I still think that this is counterplay. It might just be rook g2, like, but queen g6 is still also a very reasonable move. It's hard to figure it out, the difference here. So if I play like, so my issue with queen to h4 is that they have rook f1. And I don't really want to play any passive moves here. Like, I don't want to play f6, I don't want to play rook f6, I don't want to play knight f6. Like, I just want to keep attacking. And I think that after rook f1 that's not happening. But if I play queen g6, they can't play queen f5 without running into rook g2. That's pretty good. That's important. That's nice. But it looks like rook takes h5 is happening right now. So I might be forced to play queen h4, even if I do have to play something passive after that, just to avoid trouble. Alright, rook e2 is not what I thought. We'll have to check why it wasn't rook f1 in a second. Here I'm thinking about these kinds of moves, this kind of move. Rook g6 was my intention originally. So let's say I do this. What could go wrong, right? If they play king g1, I have queen h3. Looks nice. I also have rook g2. Rook g2 is a major threat. For example, let's say I play rook g2 and I get an extra move. Take, 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 knight f4. I guess the problem with that is rook takes g7. So there are some issues. Now these are pretty hard puzzles, I think. Well, actually, the first couple weren't that hard. I got them wrong because I'm sloppy and need to do more work. But also haven't had time to do more work. So, whoops, my bad. Also, I was thinking about this, but that probably gives them time to like stop bishop f4. They could at least sack for it or something. I kind of like rook g6 right now. And I still have to deal with the threat of rook takes h5. If I play bishop g5, well, that does actually deal with it as well. I don't know, this just seems right. Okay, so there's the desperate attempt that we've all been waiting for. I take, and probably play something like f6. Thanks for following, Zabongo. I don't think I want to play g5 at any point, honestly. Like, if I have to, yeah, but I don't really want to. Alright, I think I'm taking this. But am I selling myself short here? Let's see. At the end, it's gonna be pretty close material, but you know, I'm winning. Yeah, g5 does stop the exchange thing. It's not an exchange sack though. They're just winning the g7 pawn. Okay. I don't think I can allow this in this case, so I'm gonna take on g2. I think so. I don't see a reasonable move that's not taking on g2. Okay. I think I want to take the queen. Alright, that was it. I don't know why the engine just came on. Anyway, so that was pretty good. And apparently we... queen e4, fork. Yeah, I saw that too. But it's not a fork. It's just a good... Probably a good move. Wins a pawn. Luckily, there's no rook g7. That's why I was thinking about like f6. Like maybe I could just deal with it. Maybe they would do this instead. It doesn't matter. Like, this is all just fine. But the main thing I was wondering was why not rook f1? So let's check that with the computador. It says give up f7 for the win. And why not, for example, rook f2? Rook takes h3 is mate, right? There's the mate. Yeah, I was trying to line up something like that this whole time. I was looking for rook h3, rook g2. But this is just an example. I was kind of ready for this. Like, when I settled on queen h4, it was because I saw that if I play queen g6, then there's rook h5. So it was more by elimination, but I was also pretty prepared to play like that, so I think that was a well-earned puzzle. Alrighty, so they just took something. And I could take something. Oh, I just realized how long I've been streaming. I probably need to go after this one. But it's been good so far. Aside from taking an L a few times. So there's some universe where I am not getting checkmated on f2, where I am actually promoting to a queen, because this is a queen down position. I should probably survive by promoting. So if I play a move like rook b3 or rook b1, that just might fit the bill. I would rather use this rook to avoid back rank problems, but right now both rooks are actually protecting c1, where I think back rank things could occur. So let's just pick one, right? Let's pretend that I'm using this rook. No, let's just use this rook. Let's pretend. They take. I go here. Maybe I actually have to worry about other things. Like, let's say they take this way, threatening mate. No, that shouldn't be such a big deal. I make a queen. King f7. I don't know, maybe this is the puzzle, though, because I think if I just play this, they take, I move. I don't think they really have a serious attempt anymore. Everything looks safe. So it's very likely that I have to choose one of these rook moves in order to mitigate the problem of rook takes f2. So we're promoting, they're going here. Because if they block with the rook, I'll just move my queen, and I don't see real problems. Okay, so Anand has an interesting question. He says he has the option to be coached by a 2,000 rated national master in real life, or a 2,300 rated IM online for the same cost. So I don't like to go off of ratings and titles that much. I think there's a big aspect of how good of a teacher someone is. For instance, I could really see a 2,000 rated national master being a complete chump. Because to become national master, I'm assuming you mean U.S. national master, you have to be 2,200 at some point, which means that person is on their floor. That means they've lost all the rating that they can possibly lose. So their playing strength is like potentially extremely low, which is not a great sign for a coach. But if they just, you know, if there's some life circumstance that led to them losing all that rating, but they actually have a wealth of coaching materials available and they're a great teacher, then that's fine. And a 2,300 rated IM, you know, that's a similar situation where, like, to be an IM, generally you have to be over 2,400. So they've lost a substantial amount of rating, but at least they're not on their floor. For IMs and GMs, I think the floor is 2,200. So that still looks pretty promising in terms of playing strength. But again, it depends a lot on how good of a teacher they are, what kind of materials they have to share with you, that kind of thing. So I think I would, if I were in your position, Anand, I would try getting one-on-one coaching with each of them and just like feel it out before you commit to, say, a block of lessons. Just try them out. Try to get a feeling for how good of a teacher they are. Yeah, definitely do some kind of trial with them. I know when I do coaching for people, I will say, like, here's one class. I'm going to make a plan for you, and if you like it, then we can execute the plan. And, like, we'll do some chess on the first day, but a lot of it is planning. Okay, so for this puzzle, I wasn't really liking rook a1 or rook a3 because I don't really want to give them any chance to sack for the pawn. My idea with rook b3 is that if they play something trying to get rid of this pawn, then rook b1 wins the rook, and then I should still get to promote on the next move anyway. So that all seemed reasonable to me. That's why I'm focusing more on these two rook moves, rook b1 and rook b3. Rook b3 is my main candidate just because intuitively I want to avoid back rank problems. I am totally willing to look at it, but I still haven't figured out what's important yet. So let's say rook b3. Pawn takes f2 looks a little scurry, but it's not really anything as far as I can tell. I'm more worried about rook f7 at the moment. Even like queen f6, I'm not super worried. Like, let's say I play rook b3, queen f6. Oof, I'm clicking badly. Rook b8, threatening to queen. Queen takes f2, king h1. The bishop and the rook are guarding the back rank here, so they don't have that usual queen f1 sacrifice that usually happens. Additionally, the rook is pinned, so they don't have really anything. So like they can play queen takes e2. I just calmly make a queen, and I'm a rook up. So this is why this is my main line right now, where they're playing rook f2, threatening mate, and I don't know exactly what's going to happen. I think I should promote. They should play king f7. And this is where I'm a little bit unsure. Like, do I just play bishop f1 here, allowing e2? Do I play... I just don't know. Like, if I play rook f3, I'm sorry, bishop f3, then they have rook takes f3. So that's why I'm thinking bishop f1. But it's all kind of dangerous. Still trying to figure out what's the difference. For instance, maybe I actually have to play rook b1, even though that's the less intuitive move for me, because it avoids e2. You know, maybe it's something like rook b1, rook takes f2, a8, queen, king f7, bishop f1, e2, big threat. But since my rook's not hanging, maybe I don't care, and I can throw in a move like queen takes c6, just to get the pieces involved. Well, actually my bishop is hanging, and it would be mate. Actually, no, it's not mate, because there's... Well, yeah, it would be mate. They'd take with check. I have to take with a rook, and then they play queen g2 mate. So it is serious. Alright, so we're doing this still. And I have to defend the mate. The thing is, so I have the only moves to defend the mate are like bishop f3, bishop f1, and pawn g3. G3 doesn't look so bad, really. It has a downside that they can just take this bishop. But then, you know, I have a free move. Maybe, for instance, after rook takes e2, I can come back and play rook f1. And if they play rook f2, I take. Actually, it doesn't look so good. I was thinking like rook f2, rook takes, pawn takes, check, king takes, but then there's queen d2. Not fantastic. This might be a situation where I can just rule out some possibilities and play later. I don't think I care about pawn takes f2. I think I care a lot about promoting. I don't really want to run into e2 check, so I keep my options alive. I think it's rook b1, but I feel pretty ready to get this wrong. Yeah. Alright, it was rook b3. Queen f4, threatening queen f2, but I already established that I don't really care. Alright, for this one, I just played the wrong move. I don't know why I did that. I was planning king f1 before. This was the idea. So this is all fine. Alright, so rook b3 was actually my intuitive guess here. But what I was worried about was this. I didn't see a move. Like, I have to guard the mate. What's it say here? Alright, it says everything is good. Actually, bishop h5. If I noticed this, I'd probably feel a lot more encouraged. So everything is fine here. But notably, it says even... Alright, so this one runs into e2, and so I was right that this is something to avoid. But it says that even bishop f3 is fine. Like, rook takes f3, queen takes c6. and white's just winning apparently. Like, we give a bishop for a tempo, and we're winning. Yeah, I find that very credible. I didn't choose wisely here. I'm not sure that solving this puzzle really is even helping me to improve the way of thinking that I need here. I just need, like, better judgment to solve this puzzle. And I'm not sure how I'm supposed to judge accurately in a position like this. There's, like, lots of ways to go. I guess the main thing is just, like, pick a way where you don't get mated on the next move. Like, for example, g3. I think this is probably winning. Yeah, this is winning. Suggesting this. Yeah, I guess I just had to pick a move, but then it's like, why is it rook b3? So we can get into that. Why is it not rook b1? Apparently queen f4, queen f5, and queen f6 are all winning for black. They go here. I thought I didn't care. Like, I go here, they take. Oh, this is stupid. Like, this makes so much sense based on, like, just what I said in the very first place. Like, guard the back rank. Yeah. I don't know why I picked the wrong one. Yeah, it's kind of sad. Like, rook b3 is the move I was looking at the whole time, and I just got confused. Because they both look pretty similar. I guess I would need to just be more thorough, because I was looking at rook b3. I noticed a problem in one variation where they can play e2 and it hits the rook. So I chose rook b1. But that invalidates my assessment of these moves, so I had to check that again. Alrighty, I didn't do that so well. Not a great session for me, but still, just good to be back in the saddle after a little while of not playing, not training. Yeah, definitely caveman intuition beating calculation here. But I think I need to calculate a lot in order to calibrate my intuition better. So hopefully this will get assimilated somehow into the brain, and maybe I'll do better in the future in a similar situation. Okay, so I think that is it for me for now, because I have a lot of other things to do, like packing my apartment and doing my job. So I'll catch you guys later. Good luck with your chess, and feel free to drop a comment anytime. I'll get back to you guys. Talk to you later.